So it is Friday night. No, yes, it is Friday night. It's been a hell of a week. It's been a crazy week. And I have a friend crazy, and he's also crazy, but it is Friday night. My steak is resting. I don't think I've had a steak on a Friday for the last couple weeks. Like I said, things have been pretty darn crazy. So, what am I going to have today with the steak? I'll just go through that first. And it's Obsidian's Black Bear 2021 Petite Verdot. So I'm pretty sure this is 100% Petite Verdot, which is, this is a very, very small production, 14 barrels. And it needs a lot of heat from what I understand. It is very rare to get a Petite Verdot as a single varietal. This is probably only the third bottling ever in my wine journeys that I've ever had a Petite Verdot entirely in one bottle. The varietal Petite Verdot as the predominant varietal in a bottle. It's a blending grape in Bordeaux more than anything, and it's typically 5% or less. They use it for fragrance. They use it for some color. Typically, they claim violet. I have zero idea what this is going to taste like, or it's supposed to taste like. There's just no... And this is 13.8%, so a little bit restrained. 2021 good vintage out of Cali. 2020 and 2022, especially 2022 is the years to avoid. Interesting. Well, the 2020 was the fire year, and 2022 just happened to not be so great. But I'm expecting this to be big and lush, because otherwise, why would they bother? You know, I say that, but they do things like that with Cinsault and Carignan, and those are like also blending grapes, but then made in a single varietal style or bottlings, and then they're very lean, and at least that shows the expression of what Carignan and whatever the other one I just mentioned was, and I just blanked. But this is Petite Verdot. It smells great. It's got a smell milk chocolate. I haven't had a milk chocolate aroma on a wine in a while. Dark fruit, like blackberry, even blueberry, and then milk chocolate. This actually smells delicious, almost dessert-like. It is dark. I just don't know what to expect here. Oh, that's delicious. I did not expect that. I don't know what I expected. I just didn't think it was going to be that good. I'm going to reserve a little judgment. I think I've been craving a glass of wine today. Sometimes your mood will make you feel like a wine tastes better or way worse. So let's talk about some other wines or spirits I bought recently. This is becoming, unfortunately, more expensive and unfortunately more difficult to buy. Mount Etna Sicilian Red from the Nerello Muscalese grape. Kind of reminds me of some type of Pinot Noir, Nebbiolo cross, but it is its own grape. Done really well down in Mount Etna. This is their entry level from Terranera, and $30 now. I was getting it for $22. I wanted it by the case at $22. At $30, it's so great when I'm really in the mood for a slightly lighter style, but with a lot of flavor in the volcanic soils. There's a lot of character. The higher expressions of Mount Etna reds are phenomenal, and they make some that are in the $60, $70 range. Those are phenomenal. They're tremendous. It's like comparing them to a great Pinot or a great Barolo. That is what you would do if you're going to buy the higher expressions or the single vineyard expressions. I assume the single vineyard expressions. I think one was San Lorenzo, and I assume that's the single vineyard. I don't know for sure. I haven't done enough research in that area, but this bottling, which was everywhere, is no longer everywhere for me. So a little disappointing. But I did find it in a store going down towards Washington, D.C. I think it was in Maryland. What they also had at that store, they have a bargain bin. Now, it's not like garbage wine bargain bin, so you can't read this, but it was $75 marked down to $55, and it's a Brunello de Montalcino, Valdasuga, great producer, 2019. I'm pretty sure it's an amazing year out of Brunello, and I just can't pass up a Brunello of high caliber in a great vintage, because Brunello to me is one of the great wines out there for food. Saying it over and over and over again. What is it? It's a Sangiovese clone. It's 100% Sangiovese Grosso, they call it. And it's more full-bodied than Chianti Classico or any of the Chiantis. It's got acidity. It's got flavor at its best to me. It's got some lavender, some anise, some black cherry. It's phenomenally good with food. Any red sauce, I dare you to find a better pairing than Brunello. Chianti's a great secondary option, but Brunello is like Chianti on steroids. It's phenomenal. Phenomenal food wine. Goes great, let's say, with salmon. It would work with salmon, absolutely. I don't know about a whitefish. Might be too big for a whitefish. I think it is too big for a whitefish. There's tannin in there, but if you're... The only thing I would leave it out of, it would go great with lamb, great with goat, great with a lot of gamey meats for sure. I would leave it out of the steak conversation. Not that it couldn't work. If that's your jam and you love Brunello, then go for it. But there are, to me, better pairings with steak. Lyle's out of California or Bordeaux or plenty of other places in the world, Australia, South Africa, wherever we want to look for in the world for a slightly more tannic and bigger wine. They do have tannins, but it's not as big and like Bordeaux or Napa for sure. So that was a great purchase, I think. Good bargain, $20 off. And recently I bought this. I've been buying a lot of whiskey and bourbon, as I've been talking about, and this was called Barrel Bourbon. And what I'm really starting to realize is the double oaked bourbons. I'm really liking the Woodford Reserve Double Double. Phenomenal. Best bourbon I've had in 10 years. Bar none. Best bourbon. $200, but best bourbon I've had in 10 years. Now, I haven't been drinking a ton of bourbon in 10 years, so it's probably part of it, but that bourbon is absolutely delicious. Tastes like dessert. The Woodford Reserve Double Oaked, about $60 or $70. Phenomenal. Really great for that price. I would absolutely make that my house pour, neat pour, or over ice. I don't think I would, actually I know I would not use it in cocktails. I just had some Larceny again. People really go crazy for a Larceny, and a lot of stores only let you buy a bottle or two. This doesn't even compare to me to those. I just don't get that. This unfortunately was about $150, and this is a 12-year. So what that means is the minimum aged bourbon whiskey in this blend, in this bottle, is 12 years. It could be higher. I've never heard of barrel bourbon. So this is finished in toasted American oak cask. So it's a double oaked, and it's 113.4 proof. I don't know if this is what they call, they don't have their own distillery. What do they call it? NGP. So it says bottled by Barrel Craft Spirits, Louisville, Kentucky. I don't know much. All I can tell you is it was phenomenal. It was so good. It's got a bourbon thing to it. And the only other spirit I would compare it to is a very, very old cognac. It's definitely bourbon, but it's not overly sweet, but it's got this complexity to me that very, very old cognacs have, brandies. To me, a young cognac is awful, rock gut. Really, really old cognac or Armagnac or brandy, so distilled grape grape spirit is phenomenally good when it's really, really aged. It's got to be aged. I got a whole bunch behind me that one day I'll be opening, and these are some 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 are cognac. 1 is actually an American brandy, an Alembic brandy made in the cognac style. Phenomenal stuff. And I haven't opened those, but I've tasted a couple of them, and they're phenomenally good. But they're very, very, very old. And most cognacs are blended ages, and they start at a certain age, and a lot of old cognacs in there. It's rare you find an unblended cognac that has an age statement like 50 years, because those are extremely expensive and also extremely rare to find. So we're already at the 10-minute mark, which means my steak is ready, and I am just going on, but it has been a while, and I'm in a decent mood. This wine is okay. I did not expect this. This is really good. So there's tannin. It's not too aggressive. It's not aggressive tannin. It's not astringent. It's not Bordeaux tannin. Bordeaux tannin can be astringent, a little softer, but it's there. Even though this is a 2021, this can go 5 more years, maybe more. I wouldn't go beyond 5. I don't think. I think it might lose some of this lushness that it has. It's such a lush and powerful flavor right now that it's really great. Yeah, that milk chocolatey thing is there. It's got a creaminess to it. It's a good wine. This is a really good wine. I think this will pair absolutely wonderfully with the steak tonight. Steak and some zucchini, grilled zucchini. This will work. I've got a few more, but I can tell you that the next time Obsidian offers this, it's the first time I've opened one of the Petit Verdot. I don't know why I've been holding on to them this long. So I probably had this for a couple years. Like, what have I been waiting for? How would I even know if I'm going to buy more? You know, what do I always do? I've probably talked about the Suitcase clones. I absolutely love this Cabernet. I bought 2 of the Malbecs. The Cuvée Cati, their Bordeaux blend. What's over there? Oh, another black there. And that one is also 21. Okay, so maybe 21 was just a vintage they were just recently offering. I don't know. I should look into this more to see what they've done. How much barrel aging? There's definitely oak on here, but done well, done harmoniously. Unfortunately, can't really buy this. So I'm talking about this great wine. I'm giving this a 4.5 out of 5 easily. And you can't even buy it. So unless you're on their wine list, it's one of the few wine lists I'm still on. Actually, it's one of 2 California wine lists I'm on. So it's Obsidian and Carlisle. Carlisle specializes in probably the best Zinfandel in the country, if not the world. But I just don't like Zinfandel anymore. But they have some other wines. They have a really great Grenache. Now, it's not this big, unctuous Grenache. It's this lighter expression, almost Pinot Noir-esque. But it smells like a strawberry, like strawberries. Like absolute strawberries, like walking through a strawberry field and then eating light strawberries or slightly ripened. Love that one. I think at a Rossi Ranch. So it's a specific single vineyard or single ranch Grenache. They also make Alicante Bouschet, so that's a Tenterier. That's where the flesh is red as well as the flesh as well as the skin is red. That's not very common. Most red grapes have a white flesh, white juice. Tenterier is red skin and red flesh. Alicante Bouschet, one of the only grapes that there's very few. It's one of them. That grape was very heavily used during Prohibition because it traveled really well because it was a thick-skinned grape, so it traveled from the west coast to the east so people could make their own wine. During the times of Prohibition, you could make your own wine. There was some stipulations. So Alicante Bouschet was very big, and then post-Prohibition, it almost disappeared. That's another one that's very rarely not blended in, typically in Portugal, but but Carlisle has a single varietal of it, and it's phenomenally good. I love it. I wish I can get it again. So those two from Carlisle I love, but that's not what they want you to buy. They want you to buy their Zinfandels, and those are like offshoots. So I might have to message Carlisle and see if I can get any Cali Boucher or Grenache or when those are coming out. Because if they do, I'll gladly buy a case of each. I absolutely adore both for different reasons. The Cali Boucher is a monster, giant wine, and then the Grenache is this lighter expression, strawberries all day long. I just crave it in this bizarre way, but it's light and easy drinking and just smells like strawberry juice with alcohol, and it's phenomenal. So those are the two out of California, and then the rest are out of the Finger Lakes. Haven't been there in now a couple years. I think I am overdue for a trip to any wine tasting country, be it Virginia, be it the Finger Lakes, be it Sonoma, be it Washington, be it Willamette, be it Napa, be it anywhere. It's time to go wine tasting. All right, that's it. I'm gonna enjoy my dinner and have a good night.